Okay, so it's been a while since I've taken one of these apart, but once you take these screws out, you can lift this console up. And yeah, you could detach these if you want to, but if you lift it up further, you can actually move this out of the way and get to the screws and actually remove everything safely without having to take the whole piece, the trim piece apart. So I'll show you that shortly. So I started messing with it a little bit more. I really will need to get to these screws right here. There's 4. So I will need to take the center console out. Secret that I've never seen on any other videos, ironically, you take a screwdriver or knife, very carefully pop this up. It will pop out, just don't break it, because these things are hard to find. And there's 2 more screws, and this thing should slide out. So for the center console, basically you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want, you can disconnect these. You can take the whole thing out, which I'm probably going to disconnect anyway. So I have full access to this console, this piece right here. And I can take these screws out and remove this properly. But there really is no guidance online that I can find to show you how to properly do this without damaging or breaking something. So trial and error. But yes, this does pop out carefully. All right. Okay, so once you get the panel off, this is what you're going to see. It's pretty clean. This is a well cared for vehicle. You're going to see the screws needed. I need to remove next. And also have the leather shift boot that I'm going to replace this with. So I'm going to show you how to tuck that in as well. And now we can go ahead and proceed with the removal and then doing the swap. A lot of cool things came in, by the way. So yeah, the shocks came in too, by the way. But yeah, that's a mess. Look at all the crap I had in there. Anyways, let's move forward. Okay, so I just moved the screws. Moment of truth. 43, 42 years. Wow, look at that. Interesting. This is going to be interesting. Okay, very good condition. Put that over here for now. So, here we go. This is the Borg Warner T5. Should have 1, 2, 3. Oh man, that's gonna be a bitch to get to. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay, I'm gonna need. Man, that's really gonna be hard to get to. Very carefully get in there and get that out of there. This is gonna be fun. All right. Okay, so I was looking for tools to do this, and it turns out you're going to need a 1/2-inch ratchet like this just to get those back ones back there, because yeah, it's a pain. Otherwise, I was going to drill some holes right here, but depends. I'm doing the CD009 later this year. I doubt I would have to cut something nasty here just to get to those bolts, make it easier. But otherwise, this is the go-to. This is going to be the hero of the day. So I'll cut to that in a second. Okay, so I got one loose. Now I'm just going to unscrew it by hand. Let's see. Those bastards are hard to get to. Yeah. So once you get them loose, just undo it by hand. I'm going to probably reuse these screws because the kit for the short throw shifter has some threaded screws, but they're Allen key, and I doubt I'll be able to get that through there. So I'm probably going to reuse these for the short throw kit. Okay, there's one. The 3. Yeah, let's go out too. Alright, good. Alright, so I already loosened it all up. I kind of popped it already, so here's the moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there it is. There's the difference. I'm going to set this outside so we do a stare compare. The old versus the new. And show you the difference in the throw. Okay, so here's the new one. Here's the old one. Let's look at the difference. They're very similar. You can see the throw, or I guess the ball joint's going to be further up here, so it shifts it further up. So yeah, we'll shorten the throw about 20-30%. I do have the brass washer pushing, so I'm going to replace that shortly. You can see a little corrosion there. And see inside here, looks like I'm a little low. guess while I'm here, I can top it off a little bit. I'm going to put that brass bushing in there. All the stuff. You know, you have a Texas center console when you got some Yucateco for your breakfast tacos here in Texas. That's how you tell a Texas Z from a non-Texas Z. Just throwing that out there. Let's see, I also got the gasket here too. So here we go. Let's see if he fits in. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. It was meant to be. Sweet. Sweet. All right, so we're going to top that off a little bit. Get moving. Okay, so before I install the gasket, I'm going to go ahead and shave what's left of this RTV on here carefully with a razor blade. Or I probably should use a credit card, but I'll be careful. I'll be gentle. I'm going to get this off, and I'll put a rag in here to prevent any type of debris from going into the reservoir, and we'll go from there. Okay, all right, so I did a pretty decent enough job. I got a lot of the debris off, and I'm going to make sure this gasket's firmly in place. Then we're going to mount it and go for there, but there we go. So far, so good. All right, so came into a problem. The new short throw shifter, it's just almost damn near impossible to get this in there and get those bolts down. So the idea of what I had earlier about drilling a hole, I'm going to make into reality. So I already punched right here, and I'm lining up where this might go. I'm actually going to drill a hole in my precious 280ZX just so I can get this in there properly, and hopefully that'll be advantageous when I do the CD009 in the near future. But yeah, this is what I have to go through because this doesn't fit perfectly. There is some modification needed. So yes, here we go. Okay, here's what I'm doing. So I decided to put the original shifter back in so I have more room so I can see where the bolts are at. I put one bolt in there so you can kind of see what I'm going for here. Yeah, there's one bolt right there. So I'm going to make this hole bigger so this will be much easier. So to save yourself the headache when you do the new shifter, go ahead and make the holes first. It's going to be a lot easier because the shifter is a little bit bigger, thicker, so you're going to have less room to mess with, and you're going to have to do this most likely. There's no documentation. Like, this short throw shifter is for the Ford Mustang, not for the 280ZX Turbo. So modifications will be needed. So to make this work, yeah, it's a cheap shifter, but look what I have to do. I have to drill holes. So, yeah, but I'm going to make them nice and clean. But yeah, extra holes, not a problem. Lighter, right? That's the theory. Moments later. Yeah, I did that. Okay, not bad. Just look, she's frowning actually. Don't judge me. Okay. There. Better, right? I was off on the one on the right a little bit, so I made a change, but there, I think that'll work. I'm gonna go with the I'm just gonna go with the bolt that came with the kit in the back. Maybe, or all four, who knows. Okay, so it's in, the gasket's in, and blew out of the debris. I made the holes big enough for a socket set. It came with these threaded Allen type screws. I'm going to put the washers in and then put the nuts over it and tighten it down. So basically, like so. It's a 1/2 inch, basically, when we use a socket. It looks nice and pretty. And then I'm going to line up the adjustment screws. I think this is going to be at a good position. The boot may be an issue. We'll see. To make things a little bit easier, because it's going to be hard to thread that in there, just go ahead and pre-thread it and then thread this in there and lock it down. Okay, the next step is to adjust the throw. And you're going to have these threaded screws back here. And you want to basically, so right now it's in first gear, right? I'm going to go to first, and I'm going to thread this till it touches, and I'm going to go 1/4 turn back. 1/4 turn back, and then tighten it down. And I'm going to do the same thing for the rear. Touches, and 1/4 turn back, and then tighten it down. And then we'll be set, and then I can close this up. So I was going to try to use the original boot on here, and based on where it's situated, the way this thing's situated, it's not going to fit just right. I tried to force it, it's going to tear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate this back to here, and remove the extension, it's going to shorten the height, which is not a bad thing, but we'll see. Placement, I should be able to retain this boot and go from there, or put the leather one on top of this rubber boot. Extra insulation, you know, aesthetically pleasing, we'll see. But this is not going to work. This is obviously made for the Mustang, for the situation, for the way it's suited into the center console on the Ford Mustang. So yeah, if you're getting a 280ZX, if you have a 280ZX with the T5, you don't need this bed. You're just going to move that forward. I'll show you. All right, so some of you may have noticed that I did actually shave this in another video. It was a short, a really short. So I cut it right at the top there, gave it some room, and now it fits perfectly. So this is what it's going to look like, and it should work for the 280ZX. Just know that when you order a shift knob, it's 12 by, so the T5s come in two different sets, 12 by 1.75 and 16 by 1.5. You're going to need the 12 by 1.75 for this kit. And you get a threaded knob for that, or just do what I did with the, well, I had the original threaded knob that I was using over here, but I didn't have the Nardi. This is what we're going to use today. With the boot, it should look nice. But let me get started on this. All right, so this is what it looks like. I went ahead and threaded it like that. So now we're going to go ahead and attempt to put the boot on. It should fit a lot better now. That just slides right on. Look at that. Oh wow, it's going to work. Hell yeah. Yeah, we have a solution. Cool. I mean, if you want to retain the original rubber boot, you can with this kit. If you did what I just did, and you can adjust the height. If you wanted it to be taller, you could by not shaving that part that I did. You can actually have a little bit more height, or I just prefer it to be short. That's why I cut it anyway. But there we go. That is an option. Okay, so for the boot installation, I went ahead and disassembled the inner part, which I can't use with the Nardi boot here. So we're going to install this. I'm going to retain this rubber gasket for this plate. I'm going to try to make this work. Okay, so I ended up taking the rubber boot because obviously it doesn't fit around the collar of the new shifter. And I'm using the original burgundy shift boot. I went ahead and threaded it through the other boot below it. If you can see that. Yeah, there you can kind of see it. All right, so I did that. So I'm retaining that piece. I'm just going to put the collar over it and tighten it down, and that should lock it into place. Kinda, yeah, it's not turning out like I want. I need to stretch that back over. Okay, so I was thinking, you know, I do want to retain some of the rubber sealant just for noise, so I went ahead and cut this out to fit the neck. That was the original issue, so I just said screw it. I just cut it and made it. I'm going to make it work. And this is, I'm going to make this work. Oh, damn it. I'm determined to make this work. Yeah, it's going to work. And then this on top of that. Yeah, this should work. Yeah, we're going to make it work. Slowly but surely, I got this back on there. I had to put this in real quick. I'm going to put these two screws in here in the back. I'm going to plug this in, and we should be able to tighten this up. So I had to cut this piece off too, just so I can throw the knob on. So this little part of the boot is going to be going, just so I can get to that right there. Okay, so finished product now. For a second. Oh yeah. Actually, you have a legit short throw shifter with a Nardi boot, Nardi shift knob. It's done. It's crisp too, dude. Oh, love this. Love this. Hell yeah. And it just looks fucking sexy, honestly. Alright. I'm going to put all this crap back in the center console. But there we go. Really cheap, efficient short throw shifter. Some minor modifications. Yep, did that. And then finally got the boot on there. Kind of matches, but I'm happy. It's a good height. I think I'm going to leave it like this. I was going to get an adapter. I mean, I'm probably still going to use an adapter. It'll bring it an inch, half inch back and to the left. So be a little more comfortable. For now, this will work for now, but the adapter will be made. Well, I was thinking about doing it myself, but you know what? I need to get some aluminum. Long story short, I am pretty content with what I got right now. So it looks sexy. All right, that's it. Parts description in the description. Yeah, I'll list all the parts there. Thanks and subscribe.